You drive a boat while drinking this 4th of July, you could face not only losing your boating license, but your driver's license as well. That's one of the big messages from law enforcement this week as they push the Operation Dry Water campaign. The goal is to get people to think twice before they drink and drive a boat. Data shows boating while intoxicated is the biggest factor when it comes to boat crashes or even deaths.
Minnesota boating while intoxicated laws are among the strongest in the nation. Operating a boat with a blood alcohol concentration of 0.08 or higher is against the law.
And of course, anytime you're on the water, you should always wear your life jacket.